Hey guys, I was just giving a quick look to this San Fran game again. I should have ran it through the model before. I mean, I'm trusting my numbers here. The model has five. I'm not buying it. I have nine, 8.5, nine. I can't get below 8.5. I definitely can't get to the seven drop that just occurred. I think this is clearly, in my opinion, a setup. It's already been 8.5 today. I think it'll go back there before tip. This is a much better team. Um, I was looking at Utah Valley, and the best team they beat them twice. I'm sorry, the best team they played, rather, they lost to twice, and that's Grand Canyon. And Grand Canyon is not in the league of San Francisco. They're just not. Um, like I said, I got my number is nine uh, with a 2.5 point home court for Frisco. I can't get below 8.5, and there's no way I can get to seven. So I'm going to stick with what I got. I already bet it anyway, so it's irrelevant at this point. I just wanted to bounce some of that stuff to you. Um, the only other thing I bet, I saw an off-market number at FanDuel, which was the Dayton and Florida Atlantic total. They had it at 154 and a half, and everybody else was at 153 and a half. So I figured, why not? So since Pinnacle's down to 152 and a half, which is pretty much what I thought. That's the only other thing I bet. The Frisco, obviously, I posted up on X. The only other game I'm looking at that I was going to make a big bet on is this Gonzaga side. I know some people that bet it early. I don't think it's that big a deal. 6.5. I thought my number was higher. And that's the only thing that gives me pause. When I look at my ratings again, I'm at 7. So for me, I'm going to wait. Low vig is at 6 minus 22. I thought this was a 10-point game. I honestly thought my number was 10. But apparently I was wrong. I may have dropped in a home court on this, which is not relevant in this case because it's not an NIT game. It's the NCAA tournament. I don't know. I'm going to wait. I mean, 6.5. I don't see how they're going to play with this team. Well, let's start with the coaching. Mark Few is a far better coach. It's not even remotely close. Gonzaga has, I think, a whole lot more talent than Georgia. I don't know. It's not something I have to jump at right now. I bet it's small earlier. I laid 6.5, but nothing major. I was going to really make a bet here. And I've since seen it come down to, I believe it was up to 7 everywhere. Maybe not, 6.5. It stayed. 7's at Jazz and wager per head. And 411 Chris. Let's see what else. 777 at Bet Rivers, doesn't matter. Bovada don't matter. There's a 6 at South Point. For anybody out in Vegas, I'd lay 6 for sure. I think this is a 10-point game, to be honest with you. I don't see Georgia beating this team. I just don't. I don't see them hanging around with this team. Well, we're going to find out. As far as today goes, anything else? I don't know. I think we got good stuff. Mount St. Mary's, again, I think they'll win a game outright. Texas, I expect to go down. Xavier, rather, I expect to go down to 2.5. We're ready on Texas there. San Fran, I laid 7.5 at FanDuel. It's since come down to 7. That's clearly a setup, in my opinion. the difference between 7.5 and 8.5, you're splitting hairs there. So 7's the number. If you haven't bet it yet, now wouldn't be a bad time to bet it. Lay 7. I certainly would have preferred laying 7 than 7.5. But I think at the end of the day, by tip, this is going to 8, 8.5. I can't get anywhere near this number with Utah Valley. Just not the same level of competition at all. So, not to mention, well, Frisco plays in their division. They play at some altitude during the season. Yeah, I think we're good there. The only other game I'm looking at, which I missed the opener, Loyola Chicago 1.5 would have been a good bet. It's since gone to 3.5. Can't do much with that there, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. And I don't see much else. There's a lot of mismatches, in my opinion, here. I don't think Northern Iowa can play with SMU. Furman and North Texas, maybe. There's another game I was looking at. Where the heck is it now? Maybe that was it. Like I mentioned, I think this Florida Atlantic Dayton will be a good game to watch. That's down to a pick, by the way. It was 1.5. It is still 1.5 at FanDuel. That'd be a nice game to watch. Two good teams, really well coached. But I think that's it. There's no reason to force anything here. These lines are where they want them. Right or wrong, it's where they want them. And, now it's who's going to push which way and who's going to push the other way. That's all this is about at this point. So I think we'll leave it there. If anything else pops up, I'll do another video. How's that? Fair enough. We'll pick it back up at that point if need be. If not, I'll be back in the morning. Again, keep an eye on, if you haven't bet, hold on, what the heck was it again? If you haven't, the screen's not cooperating. That's better. If you haven't bet Frisco yet, lay 7. You're ahead of the game there for sure. But I think that's it. Anything else will be totals that I deem that are overmoved. That'll be the only thing left for tonight. And if I bet any of those, I'll post up another video, and we'll take it from there. All right, guys. Best of luck, and I'll get back with you later on.